Yo, what's going on everyone? Z Karma here, back with another boring math video here in Cyberpunk 2077. In this video, I'm going to be going over damage mitigation. I've always been asked about this and exactly how it works, and also there's a lot of misconceptions going around, so I'm going to clear that up today. So if you enjoyed this video or find it helpful in any way, feel free to drop a like, and if you want to subscribe for more content, you could do so as well. So, what is damage mitigation? Well, it's simply the amount of damage you are able to reduce with either skills and other bunch of other things, which I'll show in a second. This is not the same as the damage reduction you get from your armor or the damage reduction from the damage reduction stats. Yes, there is a lot going on, but in the future I will be making a separate video about armor to show you how the damage reduction with armor works. In this video, we're going to focus on damage mitigation. In Cyberpunk, damage mitigation is an additional damage reduction applied after all other forms of damage reduction. This mechanic is made up of two stats, mitigation strength and mitigation chance. And you guessed it, mitigation chance is the chance to actually mitigate damage, and mitigation strength is going to be your damage reduction. In this case, with this character, if I go to my stats and then hover over armor, you see that current mitigation strength is at 62%. Mitigation chance is at 11%. That just means that as I take damage 11% of the time, I will mitigate 62% of that damage, meaning I'll only be taking 38% damage in this case. And don't get it twisted, I know it's in the armor tab. Armor has a completely separate damage reduction that we're going to cover in a separate video. This video, we're only focusing on these two, mitigation strength and chance. So let me show you how I have 11% mitigation chance on this character. And honestly, it's so simple. All I have going on right now is this Neofiber, which increases my mitigation chance by 11%. And that's what I have it at. It also increases my mitigation strength by 11%. So that's 11%. And then I also have, you see these little stat modifiers. One of them says 0.9% mitigation strength, that makes it 12, and then by default you always have 50% mitigation strength. That's the lowest you can have it at. So 50 plus 12, that's my 62% mitigation strength. Now let's show you an example of this in combat. Every time these enemies actually hit a shot, they deal 30 damage. 11% of the time I will mitigate 62% of that, which means that 11% of the time I only take 11.4 damage. And here you can see that at one point my health goes from 449 to 438. I only took 11 damage. So yeah, that's basically how it works. And this works the same way with any type of incoming damage, even self-damage. Every time you get hit, there's a chance to mitigate damage, even damage over time. Actually, let me show you. I'm actually going to poison myself. And every poison tick that I'm going to get is going to have an 11% chance of being reduced by 62%. Look at that. Look, 44, 28. There you go. It went from 428 to 422 at one point. I did catch that. And that is basically the damage mitigation taking place. There's also plenty of other perks that can help with mitigation. To name a few, in the reflexes tree, we do have aerodynamic, which is going to increase your mitigation strength midair by 30%. In fact, I can show you right now. So let's take a look at my stats one more time. 62% mitigation strength. If I jump and check my stats in the air, it's going to show 90% mitigation strength. So 11% of the time when I get hit and I'm midair, I'm only going to be taking 10% damage. I'll mitigate 90% of incoming damage. And do keep in mind that mitigation chance is per hit. So each little hit is going to have 11% chance to mitigate 90% of the damage. We also have in the reflexes tree, can't touch this. This one says that it increases mitigation chance by 100% when performing a dash, which is supposed to guarantee damage mitigation while dashing, but this is not as crazy as I thought. When you dash, enemies already have a super difficult time hitting you. In fact, even damage over time stops ticking while you're dashing. Let me show it. So look up top of my health bar. I'm gonna get some damage over time on myself. And look. Like, you see how it pauses a little bit whenever I'm dashing? Because I'm not taking... That hardly ticks whenever I dash. In fact, let me show you without dashing and you'll see that it... Look, it's just constant ticks. You see the difference? Let me try it again. Now I'm not gonna dash. And you see like it kind of pauses? But yeah. It's kind of weird. So, honestly... You're almost never going to have to mitigate damage while dashing because chances are enemies aren't going to hit you. Unless you're getting shot by a ton of enemies at the same time. Hopefully some of them hit their shots while you're dashing. Then that comes into play. But for the most part, if you're going to be playing on like easy difficulty or normal or hard, I wouldn't recommend this perk 100% of the time. I mean, if you have the extra point, go for it. But if not, if you're not playing very hard mode, there's really no need to run this. Anyway, moving on, in the body tree, we actually have a really good one as well. It's called Dwarf Head. Whenever you use your health item, you get a 100% mitigation chance for 2 seconds, and this actually reflects in the stat screen. Let me show you. So I'm going to use my health item, and we go to stats, and yeah, 100% mitigation chance. So that just means that for those 2 seconds, I'm guaranteed to mitigate 62% of the damage. And that timer is next to your health bar right there. You see how it's running out? And last thing I want to go over is a cool tree. This one also has a ton of mitigation perks. You have this one. When crouched, you get 15% mitigation chance. This one says when crouched and not moving, you get an additional 20%. So that's 35% if you're crouching and not moving. But if you pick this one while crouch sprinting, so if you activate crouch sprinting over here, this one will give you 30% mitigation chance while crouch sprinting. So if you guessed it, you can combine this one with this one or this one with this one. So you either get an extra 35% or what is 15 plus this or an extra 45%. Oh, and there's one more. I almost missed it. You also have unexposed 20% mitigation chance when aiming from cover. This one also works. Funny thing is this one doesn't reflect in the stat screen. Keep that in mind. If you aim from cover and you try to check your stats, it probably won't show up. But I did test this and it does work. And that is all I basically wanted to cover in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you drop a like. And if you really enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe. I know some of you are waiting for that cool attribute perk tree breakdown that is coming very soon. Last to the last little branch of the tree. I'm almost done, but it'll be up in the next few days. For now, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out.